Hello everybody. Today is Friday the 14th of August 2009 and I'm doing an August video of my Montreal garden, and I thought it would be interesting to start out with these two beautiful morning glories. Right now it's just early afternoon here, and this morning this fence was covered with about 25 or 30 blooms, but on a very hot day like today where it's in the high 80s, by noontime those morning glories are shriveling up and gone. So there's the morning glories on a fence between me and my neighbor, and then the next thing I'll take you to is this hydrangea bush, which really is in a beautiful full bloom right now. And I'll tell you, the bees just love this hydrangea. They're in there all the time getting pollen. The hydrangea is a wonderful shrub because unlike so many of the other shrubs that bloom, the hydrangea blooms in August, and it's very reliable, very beautiful, and this hydrangea seems to be so happy here. Next, I'm showing you a view down the patio garden where there are an awful lot of these beautiful Roseanne geraniums. They'll keep blooming until frost. A very generous perennial. And also in the patio garden, we've got a fair number of bachelor buttons. They started blooming in June. I thought they would be finished by the end of the month of June, but no, they are going to keep going right until who knows when. Shooting over here is one of my newest acquisitions, a beautiful little concrete bird bath. I so prefer concrete or metal to plastic. Coming along to the lattice garden is my newest Buddha, who is so beautiful and so meditative, and he sits here beside my very first hollyhock. Now, hollyhocks are very pressistent plants that reseed themselves yearly, but this year, because we had such trouble with insects because there was no hot weather, the hollyhocks really struggled. Their leaves were being eaten daily by insects. Now that we have some hot weather, the insects are letting up a bit. Here's a phlox plant that's finishing up, and as we go down the left bank, I want to share with you this absolutely formidable, beautiful event, which is a perennial called September Charms or Autumn Charms. These come into bloom in August, are very beautiful, gorgeous yellow centers, beautiful pink anemone-like flowers, and they just truly have such a nice mix of pink and white and wine colors. So when you look at the garden down the left bank, that's really what grabs your attention at this time of year. In this corner, we've got some phlox, and these phlox illustrate something really interesting about perennials, which is that they actually, different strains bloom in sequence. So here we've got a beautiful pink phlox, which has really gone over the top with blooming and is now in a finishing stage. But right next to it, we've got a white phlox that has all kinds of little blooms ready to open, probably will open next week. And so you can time perennials like phlox and peonies to bloom one after the other and extend a blooming period from just a couple of weeks to a couple of months if you're smart. Here is a mosk mallow, beautiful pink mosk mallow laying low in the garden. Coming along the back garden, we've got these what I call elephant heads, and they're so great because they bloom after July, and so just when you're looking for some white in your garden to juxtapose to all the colors that are there, these elephant heads bloom, and if you know, when they're finished, if you pinch them off, they will rebloom. Very generous. Now I'm about to share with you, I think, one of my biggest gardening surprises. Here we've got my arch in the corner of the back garden, and I've tried to grow nasturtiums in the past, and it's a matter of a meter and a bit, but these nasturtiums are just happy and growing incredibly and fully up the arch, and I predict that, here's the other side of the arch here, I predict that this September, look at those beautiful flowers, nasturtiums, I predict that this September, the top of the arch, the nasturtiums already going over the top from the right side, and those coming up from the left side, I predict they will meet, and that will be a day for a champagne toast. So we're going back now to where the morning glories were at the beginning of this little tour, and I'm doing the herb garden. And in the herb garden, I've got a lot of phlox, beautiful, colorful phlox, blooming generously. Some are in white, as these ones are, and these ones are. Some are in a beautiful, beautiful cotton candy pink. This color is really, really helping my herb garden. And again, we've got some mosque mallows down here. And finally, we've got my laughing Buddha. And you know, this laughing Buddha is laughing to remind me that life is a big cosmic joke. So whenever I get a little too heavy, whenever I'm a little too hard on myself, I just remember the laughing Buddha, that life is funny, it's a joke, it's meant to be laughed at. And so there you have the August tour of my Montreal Zone 4 garden. So nice to share this with you. Thank you.